Alrighty, so we are going into game number 2 here. I am playing as Poseidon, Tiger Boss playing as Noir on the map of Ghost Lake. Can't exactly remember why I picked Poseidon here. I think it was just Ghost Lake's the best map for a raiding-ish civ like Poseidon. I thought potentially I might see Isis here from Tiger Boss as well, which I think I prefer the Poseidon in that matchup. And everything else in his comp scream, in his draft screams, don't pick me here. Like Zeus, Hades, Loki just don't really fit, and I mean, I think the Poseidon can do well into all of those anyway. So I just thought, let's just get a nice Poseidon game going. I managed to steal some goats here, which always makes me happy. After our abysmal game 1 performance, I had to lock in a little bit here and try and do as well as I possibly could, to be honest. I was pretty disappointed with that first game. It is what it is, though. You know, can't play perfectly every single time. So my game plan here is basically we got 1 gold mine Ghost Lake. You can notice that immediately. So now we just have to confirm how many gold mines are on the map and work out how to play from there. I want to put pressure onto him and ensure that he doesn't get a naked fast second town center up, because that's where all of my advantage comes from. As Poseidon against Noir, if I go into just a straight boom wall here, then that's going to favor the Noir. So basically all I want to do is build just enough units to deny my opponent from getting out onto the map. Any more than that is probably too much, because we need to be getting to Peltas, because he's going to be wanting to build fire archers at some point, and we have to deal with that. Or we can go into archers as well, but if we can get to the heroic age, our archers become much better because I can get ballistics. So effectively, that's our plan. I scout his base a little bit here with my Katoskopos, spotting a gold mine. That's going to be a nice little bit to attack. We go for a really, really quick advance here. It's a 3:15, I believe. And I also have a really, really nice straggler tree on my gold mine. This is one of those little tiny techs you can do if you don't have a gold mine a forest close to your gold mine and you have a straggler close. You can just send a couple of villagers there to chop that one tree down. It's got 200 wood in it, and then you can move them over to gold a little bit later. I don't particularly want to train my Atalanta out early on here. I'd much prefer to get some Hippias going, as they're a little bit more, like it's a little bit faster to get the Hippias coming out than it is to get the Atalanta out across the map, get pressure on. The Theseus is going to be more than enough to deal with any sort of Cheongchi, and if the Cheongchi ends up coming into my main base, I'm going to want to chase it down, and that's going to be chasing it down with the Atalanta. Nonetheless, I've got all of the momentum from advancing fast. I'm going to pop the villagers off of that wood line over onto the stable. We're going to throw 1 stable down and go from there. Not really planning to put a 2nd stable down anytime soon, unless we are going to be going somewhere. It's probably more likely to be an archery range than anything else at this point. And my opponent, Tiger Boss, does go for an instant Earthwall. To be honest, haven't played versus this before. This is the first time I've seen someone doing this sort of a thing. I don't know what the idea is here. I'm not able to enter, but he doesn't really get anything from this, right? So I just go, all right, I'm going to stick to my plan. My plan is effectively here to just get enough pressure out in order to force him to build some units, stay in the classical age, and then I'll go for a town center. If he wants to go for a village center here, that's fine. I can go for a gold starve off of 2 town centers myself, because he's not got anything. I can take a good town center. You can see that I haven't scouted my map, but I have scouted his. And what I noticed from his side of the map is I noticed that he's got a gold mine close to his town center. He's got food on his top town center and on his bottom town center. So effectively here, either side is completely fine for me. And yeah, we're just trying to get a little bit of scouting here. I think I make a bit of a mistake here. I'm still not quite up with playing Poseidon as well as most people are. I should have gotten a little bit more favor and grabbed the tech. I see an opportunity to get... Excuse me, still a little bit sick. I see... Alright, we're going to have some water. I see an opportunity to get a little bit of damage done onto this chicken here, but unfortunately, it's too far away. I'm too busy dealing with everything else, and Tiger Boss here snipes my centaur, as is always the case. I'm just the master at losing my centaur. This is really bad for me because now, if he really wants to, sure, I've got my heroes out, but he can probably push out and take a town center here after killing that centaur. He's got the Chongqi in my main base. I'm just going to turn around and shank. I've got both my heroes here. He just landed, so it's going to be a little bit difficult for him. We play with fire a little bit, but he loses his Chongqi. I lose my centaur. We're back to being fine here. And I don't have to worry about anything in my main base. I can move forward and just be... excuse me. And just be like preventing town centers from going up. So far, that's literally all my plan is. I've got a town center going up myself. And you can see on my side here that it's got Caribou. I know that it's got a gold mine. I know I can't see it, but I know it's got a gold mine. I know that this map is now a 4 gold mine Ghost Lake, given I've scouted the entirety of his side. There is a tiny chance that I've missed a gold mine somewhere, but nonetheless, I move over and scout him on the food outside of his base. Unfortunately, I'm not close, and I can't get in there. That would have been a nice little raid with heroes. Just a little bit of damage to get onto him, but at this point, because I got the town center and he doesn't, I pretty much scouted his entire base with the Pegasus. Because I got the town center and he doesn't, he probably can deny any sort of pressure that I want to put on him. So, I'm not super upset about this. I'm just, okay, he wants to turtle. He wants to turtle on 1 town center. That's fine. We just got to sit back, boom on 2 town centers, hold whatever sort of 1 town center aggression he's going to throw at me, and go from there. And yeah, we can retreat back, no problems. I see he's building some units. Probably going to the heroic age. I get just a handful of Arcus out. This is just like a minimum amount of archers, basically, because I see he's got halberdier. I don't have my centaur anymore. Minimum amount of archers just to prevent him from leaving his base and getting a town center. That's pretty much all I'm thinking about at this point, is just a tiny bit of units just to pressure, and then we're going to go to the heroic age. I got 24 on food, 25 on food. Going to get a lot of food very, very quickly. So we get an armory up as I'm spamming blah, 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 blah. I'm spamming to all Oblivion here to get that thing up, and we can also look to get onto our gold mine at the bottom of our town center. I mean, I guess to some degree, I should have scattered it. Like, there is a chance that there's 3 gold mines at the top of the map. Kinda. But I know there's a settlement there. I know there's only room for 1. So yeah, there's either 2 gold mines at the bottom of the map, or there's 1 at the top and 1 at the bottom. And that's my current thought process on the whole thing. Anyways, game plan here is to effectively get Dionysus, get full population, and click bronze, and wander forward and try and get a victory. It's pretty simple game plan, but that's what we're going for. I know he's building infantry units, so realistically I probably should put some military barracks down as well. He hits the heroic age a minute and a half before me. Not a big problem. If he wants to push out of his map and put a battle lay down or get a town center at this point, have at it. I'm very, very happy. To deal with that, he goes for immediate creation, which does give him a little bit more economy than he otherwise should have. But still, I'm pretty sure I'm in front by over 10 villages, so it's not like it's an equalizing factor at the moment. It's just limiting my advantage ever so slightly. And effectively here, I'm just trying to see where his army movements are. And luckily, I do scout him moving through the middle of the map. I see his army. I see the Baihu. I don't need to fight. I just need to I just need to deny any sort of losses. So the big weakness right now with his army position is my gold mine, that I can see if he pops in there. And I'm just circling around the army. And we can get our upgrades and everything else. I probably was a little bit late on those, to be honest, but I thought the heroic age was a little bit more important. And it's now into the next age, and I see his army looks like an army that Toxotes are going to be really good at killing. Halberdier have got low pierce armor, Fire Arch is not the best either. And he does drop the Fey Beasts, to which I immediately ceasefire. Now, potentially, arguably, I could have killed those off, held on to ceasefire, but at this point, I just don't want to lose anything, because the only way I lose this game is by taking a fight that I lose and then getting gold starved, right? That's the only way that I feel like I lose the game, given how the early game has gone. I'm not exactly 100% sure if that's true or not. My knowledge in this matchup is incredibly limited. I don't actually know if I've ever played the Poseidon side of this one before. Maybe I have, maybe I haven't. I don't know. But yeah, that's what I'm feeling. Moving out of my base with idle villages is always nice. A little bit of a distraction to pull his army and trying to get a raid onto his villages. Tiger Boss was really good in this series at noticing these sorts of moves. These are like little moves that generally get me a little bit of value against even the best players. But Tiger Boss, yeah, super quick to react. Tried to snipe a archer there, lost to Hippias. Need to respect those Baihu a little bit more. But yeah, now we can move over onto that gold mine, get our X upgrades, and yeah, be completely fine. Like I said, I don't need to do anything here. Even if he gets that, he's got that gold mine at the top. All I need to do is secure 3 large gold mines here. That's like the big way to win on this sort of a map. If I secure 3 large gold mines, that is a victory. That means I win. If I only secure 2 large gold mines, that means we have to go into a trade route thing, which means anything can happen. You get into a late game sort of thing, and it's all about just outplaying in the late game. So my thought process is here, if I can deny the Noir army from going to the bottom of the map, from getting that bottom town center, then all I have to do is take my top town center and secure the top gold mine. So what I do here is I actually move some villages down to the bottom left, and I'm thinking about putting a fortress down there, as well as putting a fortress at the top. That's my plan, at the very least. Nonetheless, obviously my initial plan is a bronze push here, but my overarching plan is to do that. So maybe here this is probably a mistake, given all of that being said. As I drop the bronze down, I make a pretty rubbish mistake here with my Hippias. So the bronze, and also I'm not microing my archers. So the Atalanta, or the the Hippolyta is dealing with the Baihu. My archers are shooting the Baihu. So this fight just goes awfully for me. Not only that, I don't really notice that he's got all of these javelins or javelineers in his army. So he managed to build a really nice army to counter my army. So that was not a good fight for me in the slightest. So well played to Tiger Boss there. I think I got outplayed pretty hard in that moment. But luckily for me, I got such a ridiculous economic advantage. I imagine he's probably at like 60 villagers right now. Maybe 65 because of the potential Qualfu. So it's just a huge advantage for me with economic income, and I just have to get sorted out on farms. I've got some hunt on the bottom as well I can grab. As you can see, my food situation's a bit struggle town. I think people were wondering why I was going for Toxotes here. I mean, the general reason is These are just really, really good against what he's building, right? The only thing that they're not good against with what he's building is the Javeliniers. And if I was to go into... What I was scared of is going into Hypaspis right away, was that I didn't have the answer for the Fire Archers just yet. So effectively, I'm doing a little bit of a transition through Toxotes into Peltast, into Hypaspis Peltast. I'm also worried that he's going to be able to go into, even though he didn't go for the God Path Golmang, I'm worried he's going to go for some White Horse Cavalry. So I want to make sure I have like the right units to be able to deal with that. And against the White Horse Cavalry, it's probably going to be Prodromus as a reaction to that. But nonetheless, still some very strange macro right now. I got villagers going all over the place. I got the bottom left of the map now sorted. Time to grab the top right of the map as we can just take full map control. And effectively, the third town center plus my economy. The only thing I'm worried about now is him hitting Mythic Age and wiping my army and me not being able to reproduce. If he does that, if he does hit Mythic Age and kills my army off, no problems. As well, though, because I've just got so much economy, it just will just delay my own Mythic Age. I have to stay Heroic Age for a little bit longer. But that's not the worst thing in the world. So we get the town center up. He's got a nice forward ballet there. I think he made a pretty big mistake putting that there. He probably could have used that to secure the top gold mine, which would have meant that I need to go in for a trade route and like not fight at all. But because he doesn't, I can set up my own fortress up there. And this does two things. This one gives me access to Petropolis at the top of the map. And two, if you notice the building placement, effectively what you want, and there's one more building I need here to achieve this totally. What you want is all the angles of army movement to have a building in front of it so that the Great Flood can't take you away from where it needs to be. So for example, if I sit in between my fortress and the town center, a Great Flood can't take me down, it can't take me up. So realistically, one more building here would have been really, really key. So probably, I regret, I mean, right now it's easy to say because I know what happened, but I am regretting not having that extra building. Just one stable placed just in the middle here would have been really, really nice. But nonetheless, live and learn as... Now we're up through to the Mythic Age. He hasn't hit the Mythic Age yet himself, so I've got literally nothing to worry about. If I click up to Mythic Age and he hasn't clicked and hasn't advanced yet, we're all good, effectively. So yeah, Petropolis out, clean up the ballet, and just wait. At this point, there's no need to really do anything. Unfortunately, I love being active and doing things. Just one of my favorite things is to go and raid my opponent and put pressure on. But, you know, in this sort of with this game, this way that things are going, that's just not how it's going to work for us. And you can see he's pretty scared of my archers here, which is nice. He's building a handful of White Horse Cavalry, but can't really. Forte I see goes up through Gong Gong, and I just say, okay, bye-bye. I'm going to jump into my buildings. How are you going to kill them? What are you going to do? I'm going to pop out and just be baiting. If he wants to use a Great Flood or on half my army, I'm very happy. Literally just ready to garrison whenever I need to. Dealing with all of his front line here. He doesn't click it because he's scared that it's not going to get any value. I get a little bit of a garrison off, unfortunately, at the bottom of my thing. I don't get any out there into the town center, but managed to garrison pretty well, and I don't really lose anything. Then we can earthquake his main town center. Cause some problems there. And this push here has been thoroughly defended. We can get Polyphemus out. We can get everything we need out to deal with any sort of myth units that are free myth units that are coming in. We can start a trade route. We've even got a whole bunch of militia to come in and join the battle. And we're good to start pushing. So really, really happy with, like, the overarching game plan. Bit upset with the micro in the first bronze fight. I feel like I should have won the game there, considering how far in front I was and everything else. But this was a really good turnaround, and it gave me a lot of confidence after losing the first game so badly with such, to put it lightly, such bad play. Yeah, this one was very, very, how do I put it? I mean, strategically speaking, I think I played it very well. I think taking the bronze fight was correct. I just needed a micro better. Army comps was basically right. Probably could have maybe gone into Peltast a little bit earlier. I didn't notice the javelin ears. But yeah, in the end, keeping him stuck on one town center worked really, really well. Anyways, a great game too. Hope you guys are enjoying the action. I'm going to be putting out one every hour, 2 every day, or 3 maybe tomorrow. And I'll see you guys in the next one.